But Jonathon Brooks for me is one of those players who does everything to an above average level, but nothing to an elite level, if that makes any sense at all. That he shows enough as an athlete. He's got enough wiggle. He's got enough maneuverability to find and hit gaps. He's got light footwork, good enough as a pass catcher, stop-start ability in open space. And he's got the ability to go through gears and can control his acceleration and pace as a runner. Weaknesses, I think he's only got questionable functional strength and balance to hold up as a blocker, which is why I've put the others above him. And for me, he chooses contact over space far too often. But the fact that he only has 238 carries in college means that he's got plenty of tread on the tires going into the next level. And I think he has potential to be the first running back taken.
Yeah, looking at him, he has, in that amount of carries, an average of well over 6 yards per carry, which is a really good amount for him. I think that he's someone who he's maybe a bit less experienced. Some of these other guys obviously sat behind Bijan Robinson and Roshan Johnson, so he definitely has played less. I think he's someone who's really agile and smooth when he works between cut to cut. I think he has good wiggle, and he kind of know how to create yardage in tight quarters, but also out in space as well. He's a good burst, but I think he sometimes doesn't put the foot onto the accelerator quick enough for me at times until he's really sure of a gap, rather than just going for it. And he isn't the most physical run finisher, but I think he's definitely on an upward trajectory. I think he's a good enough pass catcher as well. He's got enough power to kind of get through contact, but not the strongest in the world, but enough to do so. He's obviously had that ACL injury in November, which will have a factor in how fit is he going to be early on. But I think he's a really good prospect. I have him as number 2. But there's a lot of chatter about him being the first guy off the board, isn't there? But for me, he was number 2.
Yeah, so going back to something you mentioned there about it, that I said that he was able to go through the gears, and it's the speed's more of a build-up speed. And when you compare it to some other running backs in this class, what you would like in a running back is you almost want that speed to be instant and then go up and shoot through the gaps, whereas it's almost like he needs to build himself up to it at times. And we can be patient behind the line of scrimmage with active footwork to almost like be on his toes, ready to go. But it can sometimes take a tad longer to get up to speed than some of the others.